The year is important, which you'll understand later in the story. It was in 2008. I was a single mom and my son was a baby, and we had no money. So what we would do for fun, my friend would come over and babysit him while I worked in the morning, and then what we would do fun in the afternoon is we would go to the library, and then we would go window shopping at Target. So he got to see the toys, but we didn't buy anything because we didn't have much money. And I was already a couple of years into this work, and I was really good at not falling into the fear of money, right? This is challenging. I'm a young single mom. I could be stressed out all the time, but I stayed above that. I was never really in fear about money. I was just in acceptance and ease with where we were at. But this one day, we were going about that routine, and I was in so much fear about money, stressed to levels that hadn't had experienced before at this time in my life. And I was judging myself for it. I was like, you know better than this. Don't get afraid of money. Everything's going to be okay. You're always taken care of. Gaslighting the feelings I was having, right? It felt intense. So we get home. I put my son down on his little blanket to play in the living room, and I start cooking dinner, and I turn on the TV. And it's 2008. Does anyone know what was happening in 2008? November 2008, the huge stock market crash. And that was all over the news. And I had been oblivious because I'd been going out my day with my son. And the second I heard that on the news, I was like, oh, that's not my fear. It's the whole world's fear about money right now. So that's the way that we can be tuned in on a broad level to the collective consciousness. But the key piece that I want you to understand with that story is that it feels like ours, right? Until I understood the bigger collective story, it was my own story, fear of money. But then when I realized what was happening in the collective, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is in my space. I'm telepathically receiving it. And what it's doing is it's amplifying my own story, right? I do have some concern about money, but I'm able to keep my head above that. But that day I could not because the collective energy that I was picking up telepathically sunk me, right? And so that's one piece that I want you to realize is that most often when we pick up energy, whether it's the collective, our close friends, it will feel like our own story.